What are you guys doing here?
Alpha Lambda Mu, otherwise known as Alif Lam Meme, Sohail and I are both supporting branding right here. This is our Sandala. That's another PR shirt that we have. We're the first Muslim interest fraternity in the United States of America. And on top of that, we have been growing so quickly over the last 6 years. And we came to talk a little bit to you guys about who we are, what we do, why are we so different, what makes us important, and why we think that anyone listening, anyone watching should check us out.
Yeah. So let's start with what makes you different from other, frats? Are you guys a fraternity? Is that what you would define yourself as?
Yeah, we are a actual Greek social fraternity.
Okay, so what makes yourself different from others?
I think everyone can chime in a bit on this, but some of the key highlights is, like, for one thing, our main goal, value, drive, ambition is to generate brotherhood in between the members, and in order to, one, obviously promote personal and professional success. But on top of that is to create a network of individuals who can depend on one another in times of need, in times of happiness, in times of sadness. Whenever you need someone, you always have someone there. It's that it's having like a backbone for you whenever you can.
Yeah.
Especially for people like me, who I came from Houston. I'm not from the DFW area.
Yeah.
So my family's back home. I got no one here. And when I joined ALM, I suddenly had this like foundation under me that could catch me whenever I was ready to fall.
Yeah.
And that's something that really differentiates us from, say, some other fraternities that, you know, they are important about the brotherhood and they do talk a lot about that, but also there's a social aspect like partying and things like that. Like, I'm not saying we don't have fun. We have loads of fun. But obviously, you know, as a Muslim interest fraternity, we don't drink. We don't, well, in terms of the fraternity as a organization, we don't host any parties where we drink or do anything like that. Like, we try to instill Muslim values and interest, not necessarily Islam, but Muslim values and interest.
Yeah, like the way I like to explain it to most people is that fraternities are usually based off of like one thing. It's usually professionalism, or a social fraternity or a service fraternity. But what's amazing about ALM is that even though we're listed as a social fraternity, we encompass all three of them. And then on top of that, we have Islamic values. So we're like the most like all around fraternity.
Okay, that's awesome. I actually had a question for you guys that you kind of answered. It was going to be most frat stereotypes are drink, party, and drink some more. What would you want your stereotype to be?
We got cream soda.
Cream soda and Monster Pong. So like
Okay.
I think it's something that our president tells us all the time.
Yeah.
I want our stereotype to be when you see someone wearing ALM gear, an ALM hat, or even a person's face, and you identify them with ALM, and they walk into a room, you want them to think, there's an ALM guy.
Yeah, like the air changes in the room.
The vibe changes.
The vibe. That's what your Jummah khutbah was about. The whole vibe of a person. You know, if someone has a good vibe, then, you know, the vibe of the room will be good. Like me, I'm amazing. I'm an awesome human.
That's true. I've known you for all of what, like 20 minutes?
Not even.
It's a pretty dope vibe.
That's awesome. I mean, that's amazing. So you guys promote good vibes and...
Yeah, for sure. Like, for example, right? If you see a bunch of ALM guys pull up to a volunteering event, right?
And you guys do that often.
Yeah, that's one of our key values is volunteering and activism. Right. That's what we're about. And when you see ALM guys pull up to that event, the stereotype we want to have is that when you see someone pull up, it's like, oh, it's going to be easy now.
Yeah.
Because you know that these guys are about to put in the work.
They're going to work hard. Yeah. Absolutely. I love that. That's amazing.
And I also had a question. I had a question because I just got admitted to UTD. Alhamdulillah.
Mashallah. Mubarak.
Yeah, thank you. So I was like wondering, how does someone kind of get into the whole recruitment of ALM?
Sure. I mean, we have our VP of events here, so he can tell us a little bit about it.
So basically the way it works is obviously you either come in or if you're a freshman, you're coming in the fall. And so within the first 2 or 3 weeks, the fraternities all host their own rush weeks. And in those rush weeks, we have various events with differing kinds of levels of obviously physical activity or just interaction. For example, like one of our rush week events last time was we went and we played soccer on like fields with refugee students.
Yeah.
So it was nice. We incorporate some like volunteerism, and we also work with like just anybody who basically is coming in new. And that's basically how it works. There's like a specific week that's Rush Week. You just come to those events and then you meet people, get a kind of vibe from them, and just portray yourself in the best way possible.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I like that.
And the thing is, it's just like any other Greek fraternity, right? There's certain Greek structures that we follow because we are a Greek fraternity.
Yeah.
Meaning that we do have a rush week, right? In which we just see new members, like obviously recruitment. Then we do the bid day and the whole process from then on. We function like any other fraternity. We just hold different values in that process.
That's amazing. I love that. So, okay, you guys said Alpha Lambda Mu.
Alpha,
It stands
Lambda,
for Alif Lam Mim,
Absolutely.
as in basically the first 3 letters of the Quran, aside from Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Why did you guys use that as your name? If you have the answer to that, let's hear it.
Zeeshan, you want to touch a bit on it, or?
I remember reading something recently, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, about why one of the founders thought of that was is because Alef Lam Mim, like no one knows like the meaning of that. Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
And since that meaning was like unknown, that's why we took that name. So like our initial meaning is like unknown because we're new. It's something different. It's something that no one has ever like experienced before. So we are going to make the definition of it. We are going to show what it stands for, what ALM stands for, Alef Lam Mim stands for. And that's I feel like that's the vision the founders had.
That's actually a really cool vision.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether or not that is the vision, I can see how, because we don't know the definition of Alif Lam Mim, right? That create your own definition. That's what most people are promoting now, right? Not saying that you guys are generic, which you are, but
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk after this.
yeah, no, definitely. But I like that. I truly do. I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah, I think just to touch on why, like, I think that's so important that we have that that vibe in terms of the meaning.
Yeah.
Is because we want to generate change not only within ourselves, but we want to change the meaning of what fraternities are back to what they used to be.
Yeah.
Historically, right? Like fraternities hundreds of years ago, right, were not partying, frat houses and all that. No, that's not what they were.
Yeah.
Right? It was a place for growth. And we want to help inspire that change in other organizations, right? We're not just here for ourselves. So that's why I think it's so awesome that the founders did choose Alif Lam Mim, right?
Yeah.
Because if you know the Quran, then you can recognize it. But when I say Alif Lam Mim, you can't derive a meaning from it. You have to know the people.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That's super deep, dude.
That
was like,
it really
that was
is.
deep, man.
Check out my philosophy lectures next Thursday.
I mean, I'm speechless. Like, I've been saying that's awesome to every one of your responses for the past 2 minutes because I've had nothing else to say.
No.
That's actually really cool.
Alhamdulillah.
See, I changed it up from that's awesome.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So I had a general question. I don't know if you guys know the answer to this, but do you know how frat names work? Because I've noticed a lot of them have alpha and all that, crap
Sigma,
to it.
Alpha, Phi.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you can. Do you know anything about this, or?
I mean, you just basically put together
Yeah.
Greek letters that you feel like have some meaning or significance.
Exactly.
So if I were to directly translate Alpha Lambda Mu, would it literally translate to Alif Lam Mim, or is that just something you guys said it meant?
Oh,
that's what you mean.
That's
Okay,
what you mean.
well-
I don't.
So the same way, so basically, Alif Lam Mim was the original name, and then you translate that to English, it's ALM.
Yeah.
And then from there, A in the Greek alphabet is alpha.
Oh, okay.
L is
Okay,
Lambda
what's the
is
name
the
of
closest
that?
to that.
What do we call that?
Greek letters?
No. I mean, say, remember in kindergarten when you would take your name and you would put a word with
Transcription?
Oh, acronyms.
Acronym.
Yeah.
So it's literally just an acronym.
Similarly, yeah.
Okay.
That's and I don't know. Obviously, with fraternities, there are a lot of aspects about the fraternity itself in any fraternity that you go to that are only things that people in the fraternity know. And sometimes it is things like the name or what their letters mean, right?
Yeah.
Like Kappa Alpha Sigma or Sigma Alpha Epsilon, right?
Yeah.
Any of the other fraternities you go to, right? They won't be telling you necessarily exactly what the letters mean, or like sometimes they won't even wear their letters all the time. Like Fiji, right? Fiji doesn't wear their letters, right? Because there's only like a certain number of places that they can have their letters. There's a certain meaning that only people within the fraternity will come to know.
Okay.
And that's another aspect of exclusivity that
Yeah.
fraternities have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty cool, actually. So what do you guys do as a fraternity? Because I know, so you've already mentioned volunteer work. What else do you guys do to help out the community?
Specifically with community help out, one of my favorite things that we tend to do is we look for very particular situations that are active and an issue in that are currently being discussed, right? For example, like, yeah, everyone does a food bank or something like that, whatever, right? Like we also do that, right? We
Yeah.
also do those kinds of events. But what just happened in New Zealand, right?
Yeah.
With the Christchurch shooting, it had deeply affected us all. Like I remember like Zeeshan, for those of you who don't know, he was at Showdown and he was performing poetry and he absolutely destroyed it, right?
Yeah.
But in his poem, he included a part about New Zealand and the effects that happened in Christchurch, and you could feel in the room that kind of vibe that it had.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we did was we worked with our UTD MSA, and in a matter of 12 hours, we organized an event from night to morning, right? We organized a vigil that afternoon at our plinth at the SU, and we had a massive show out. We had massive, candle lightings. We had some
Wow.
police officers.
I actually remember that.
Yeah, it was amazing, and in just so short and in such a short amount of time,
Yeah.
we were able to give comfort to ourselves specifically because we were also dealing with it.
Yeah.
But also to the people who were having to read about it every day, and the body count gets higher and all that.
Yeah.
Those are what we try to do. We try to remain active in the community to where we're not just talking about the same things that make people go to sleep at like a gala or fundraiser.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We want to make sure that people are involved.
Yeah.
So that's why we have people like Sohail who are always on top of the game.
Yeah.
They're always ahead of the like whatever's on the horizon about being in the conversation. Like we try to make sure that people in our fraternity are working towards that conversation.
That's amazing. I really, dude, I love that.
You should join.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
Come
when
on
I get to
UTD.
UTD. When I
Yeah.
get to UTD, I'll definitely.
Inshallah, for sure.
Inshallah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Dawood, you and I next year, right?
For sure.
Oh,
Well, next year I'm still here. I'm stuck
you're
here
stuck
for
here.
another year.
Dang, bro. I'm so sorry. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I got this amazing podcast studio right
yeah,
here.
I
You know
can't
what?
I can't say that I have this. I haven't been to the UTD podcast.
I'm sure
area,
yours
but-
is amazing though. I'm
Inshallah.
gonna rule that one day.
Oh, bet.
Yeah.
Bet.
So you guys are all obviously in the fraternity. So I want to see, I want to get a personal approach from each of you guys and see what your role is and what you do to help out the fraternity. So let's start from Zeeshan, I guess.
Okay, so my name is Zeeshan Prupia. First of all,
Introduction. Hi guys, I'm Dawood Tafsir. This is Yezen.
Hello.
Welcome to DT Podcast.
But basically, I rushed ALM last semester, and I became a member at the end of last semester, and I ran for the marketing chair. So I became the marketing chair, and that's been my main focus, marketing this past semester, keeping our social media presence, and really one thing is like our public image. Like I think of it in a sense like a business where like we have brand awareness and a brand image,
Yeah.
and how we present ourselves, and really like the members are like the way we market ourselves,
Yeah.
So we have to hold ourselves to the standards that we put ourselves to, and that's how we market ourselves. And that's been one of my main goals this semester. Another thing, I've been trying to find a way to like fund the fraternity by starting like a tutoring service, a mentorship service, and more for that. That's for us to like give it back to the young ones,
Yeah.
to like, because all of us are experienced. Like we're all in college. Like we've all gone through stuff.
You've been through,
Yeah, we've been through what
stuff.
high school students have gone through.
Yeah.
So we actually are part of a mentor service we're working on getting that started up, and inshallah by next semester we should have that going.
Okay. Yeah, like you want advice? $20. I'm taking that.
Yeah.
But for sure,
Gotta
like
monetize. You know?
Definitely.
oh no, it's not like that. It's but like today we what's it called? We had a presentation after Jummah. Like we went into a separate room and we had a presentation, and really it was just like advice. Like it was me and 3 other guys, and we talked about how college experience is, and really we just opened up the floor to a discussion and like Q&A.
Yeah.
And it was really nice, like having juniors and seniors, because I was here at Richland. I know what they're going through. I went through capstone. I know how it goes.
Yeah.
And just having like hearing what they like their questions, it's like it's crazy because like I had the same questions, you know. And if I had someone that could have told me, oh, this is what's gonna happen, or this is how UTD is, I would have grown. I mean, I did have a lot of mentors growing up, but it would have been different, you know, having the direct source. So we're just trying to give back to the young ones, and just when they come to UTD, they can just do better than we did.
And then rush ALM.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's hear the next one.
Yeah, my name is Mahir Said. I'm at UTD. I'm a sophomore. I decided to rush ALM 3 years ago.
Okay. Right.
Because the founder, Ali Mahmoud, is a family friend, or a person knows a person knows a person knows Ali Mahmoud.
Yeah,
and he and I were friends on Facebook.
Okay. I just knew him from Facebook.
If you're Desi, you know. If you're not
Yeah.
Desi, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Or you're lucky. I don't know. But yeah, basically, I saw him posting about Alpha Lambda Mu, and then I saw all these pictures about them, at protests and being active, and it's just a bunch of guys coming together in the kufis. Everything was like really enamoring. So I immediately applied to UTD, and I rushed in the fall. I've been a member now for a year and a half. At the end of the semester, it'll be 2 years. Inshallah, I'm looking forward to it. What I do is I'm the IFC chair. So a little bit about what that is, or IFC delegate. At most schools that do have a Greek life program, there is something called IFC, which is the Interfraternal Council, right? And that is a council where the fraternities that fit the requirements and that can identify within that particular council can meet together and work together, 1 for their community, 2 for themselves, and then 3 for Greek life outreach, right? And so basically we have a meeting every so often, and I'm the person that goes and speaks on ALM's behalf. I have another partner. His name's Sadaf Sam.
Yeah. Fortunately, he couldn't make it today.
Yeah, unfortunately. Shouts to that guy. But yeah, it's my job is trying to make sure that, 1, I have a tap on the pulse of like what other fraternities are thinking, and where they're headed, and where their space is at in terms of like what they want to do.
Yeah.
And second, it's also about like showing that ALM, we're not all that different. We're a bunch of guys. We want to have fun, right? The way we approach that fun is different, or the type of fun that we have might be different.
Yeah.
But we're a bunch of guys in college trying to get ready for our professional lives,
Yeah.
And it's really an eye-opening experience. And inshallah, one day, I feel like ALM can have a really serious seat at the table. And I feel like we're working towards that pretty soon, inshallah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Let's hear the next person.
Cool. All right. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sohail Mohammed. I'm a junior neuroscience major. I don't know if I'm going to face right here, so like half and half can see me.
Yeah, no, you should probably put the mic more facing towards your mouth, though.
Yeah, right there?
Yeah.
Right there? Okay, we're good. Okay. So again, my name is Sohail Mohammed. I'm a junior neuroscience student at UTD, and I originally rushed 2 years ago. And this is just heads up for anybody who's like doesn't know ALM or just is kind of hesitant. Like I had no idea why I joined originally. Like I rushed because one of my friends actually rushed. And so that was my original motivation. But as I went through the process, I kind of learned what my reason for being there was. And so I got inspiration from a lot of the older guys who have been there for a while. And I think like the biggest part about ALM in my head is that, and this is especially for people who may not have their own set friend group coming into college or who don't really have who are really hesitant about college is that ALM kind of calms you down, and it kind of like helps you find that comfort zone where you feel like you can spurt those ideas or like kind of find yourself. And so that's how I felt that process was. I kind of figured out what I wanted to do, and kind of it was nice that there's a lot of people with varying backgrounds, and everybody's there for their own reasons. But at the end of the day, we all come together and we build something great. And so within ALM, I'm the VP of events. So my role basically rotates around creating events, whether these be public events for campus itself. For example, in the past, we've done Hoops for a Cause, which is an event where we bring out like a basketball hoop to the plinth on campus, like the main area on campus, and we basically ask people to just shoot 2 or 3 shots. They'll pay some money, so that money goes towards a charity. And so after that, they get to choose a member to pie. So it adds like kind of like a fun aspect to it, but then also we're doing it for a good cause, and everybody has fun. It's really nice, and it's good vibes overall. But overall, there's the fun aspects of it. My team curates events for. I don't want to take the credit. Curate the events for the chapter itself, so that we can kind of build and foster that brotherhood, getting to know each other closer, and things that you wouldn't normally do. We'll keep that confidential.
So you're like the head of that whole event management team.
Yes.
So you have the job no one else wants.
Pretty much, but I think I found my own like motivation to do it. Yeah,
that's awesome.
And the thing is, he's good at what he does. So
find what you love and make that.
Yeah, shout out events committee.
Exactly. Find what you love and make that your role for the fraternity.
100%. 100.
Yeah.
Dang, dude, that was
bars.
bro, bars.
No, okay. So I don't know if you guys know, but Phi Theta Kappa. That is, I don't know if they would call it a fraternity, but it's something of that sort. It's for Richland College.
Okay.
Have you guys heard of that?
Never.
Basically, you sign up, you pay a couple dollars, and you get scholarships for when you actually go to UTD.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you invest a little bit in them, and they invest in you for whatever the hell
Long
that is.
term.
Exactly. Their main message is turning current students into future scholars. You know, you go to their events, you learn how to talk publicly, things like that. I don't really know. I haven't been to many events of theirs.
Okay.
Would you guys say you would do the same thing? You turn shy UTD kids into scholars.
There have been some amazing transitions that we see just every semester, right?
Yeah.
With people who come in. But for me, what was interesting, it was actually kind of the opposite. When I came in,
You became shy?
not shy,
Okay.
but I was very outspoken. I was, obviously very like enthusiastic.
Yeah.
Just my vibe was like very extra. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But through my time with ALM and the teachings that I got, it taught me the importance of like, while other people's ended up breaking out of their shell, it taught me what it's meant to have like barriers, right?
Yeah.
Like there should be different levels of energy you use for different
Scenarios,
precisely. And that was invaluable, because if I was going at my current pace, right, like obviously for fun things like social things, yeah, it's a great time. Mahir's a great time.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, to like brass tacks, or you're trying to do something like professional or something that's tough, or something that's, not fun, or, something that's hard, right? Emotionally difficult.
Adulting.
Yeah, adulting.
Yeah.
You can't do that with that level of energy. You have to bring the energy down. You have to bring the approach up, right? You have to start looking at it from a different perspective. And that's something that I loved. But on the flip side, there have been people who have broken out their shells so hard.
Yeah.
So hard. Like, you'll be seeing them at Rush Week. They'll be like, yeah, bro. Yeah, no, I'm just studying, bro. bro, is there food, bro? Okay, there's food. I'm gonna go eat, bro.
Can you give me my plate, please?
Can you give me my plate? and then he passes the plate back, and they pass the plate back, and they pass the plate back. Yeah, got it. And then no one ends up eating.
No.
Yeah. And then they flip around, man. They come around. And like Zeeshan's like one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Dude, I don't know. Like Zeeshan, when I met him for the first time, like he was super low key. But like he's now so lit. Like anytime I'm around him, he's just like good vibes only. Good vibes only.
Yeah.
So alhamdulillah, you know, it's a great experience, and I think
can I ask something?
yeah, please.
So
please.
one thing that like we try to focus on, especially like whenever someone becomes a new member, is we want all our members to be leaders.
Yeah.
You know, like not just a leader. Like it's like they could, if like let's say like the whole board was gone or something bad happened and they're just gone, then any of the members can take up the responsibility and be able to lead the fraternity.
Yeah.
And not just in the fraternity, but outside the fraternity too. Like we, a lot of our members are involved in other things, and they have other leadership roles, and they can maintain leadership roles in ALM. So we do try to get people like we show people their potential. And that's what I feel like something that the current president taught me is not to limit myself. Whenever I first came into UTD, I actually was automatically on the MSA board. Not automatically, but
VP of MSA right here.
I'm not.
His sister is president.
No, she came president this semester. But since I was president of Richland MSA, they allowed me to run for UTD MSA, and I got a position. And going into ALM, they asked me like, "What position would you want in ALM?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know, because like I already have a position in MSA, so I think ALM, I'll just be like a member, you know?"
Yeah.
And the current, he was the VP last semester, Adil, he's president now. He told me, he actually got mad at me. And he was like, "How dare you limit yourself?"
Yeah.
He was like, if you want to, you can be president of MSA, president of ALM.
Yeah.
He's like, no one's stopping you.
Adil Zar, right?
No,
Adil Gayasuddin.
Yes,
Okay.
actually, Adil Zar is my grandbig, so shout out to him.
Yeah, shouts to Adil Zar.
But
cool guy.
Yeah. But yeah, Adil, like, he got mad at me, and like I went home and I was like, dang, like, did I really just limit myself? Like, I was like, yeah, I can't. I was like, if I want to do it, then I have the ability to do it. So next semester, I am planning to run for MSA president, and
inshallah. This is
inshallah.
Announcing his campaign. We're accepting campaign donations. I'm gonna drop my Venmo in the description.
And the VP of PR for ALM. So
inshallah.
to handle both like board positions is something that I wouldn't have maybe even thought of if it wasn't for ALM.
I think another thing that Zeeshan was touching on was you know, we want people to be leaders. But some of the people who come in, they're already good at that leading ability, like taking charge.
Yeah.
The trick is one thing that I learned, right? Was like, I was one of those people that was like, oh, there's something, I got it, right? Or I'll take care of it. Or, you know, I'm gonna handle the situation. I'll spearhead it, right?
Yeah.
One thing that the process taught me is that the best leaders know exactly when to follow.
Absolutely.
And so I think that's super important.
Yeah.
Right? Because not everyone is like shy. Not everyone's excited, right?
Yeah.
So it's important for them to learn when it's important to lead and when it's important to follow. And that's something that I think is a key aspect in any professional experience.
I agree 100% with that. I'm into, I don't know how many of you guys know this. I know Yezen does, but I'm a photographer. I do this, you know, hopefully I make a full-time career out of it.
Inshallah.
That's my goal.
If
not, I gotta fall back business marketing.
My
That's
senior
what
camera my senior pics, they're ready for you.
Yeah, honestly, dude. But so I do this, and this is one thing I've learned is you have to have a base of doing your research. You know, taking command in the actual field, right? And then there's also times where you have to humble yourself and say, hey, you know, you're a successful photographer. Can I work under you for a little bit?
Yeah.
There are times where exactly, and the humility is what. That's exactly, and I feel like you guys also teach that humility, because you said, you guys beat up. Yeah, you said you broke into it, like rush week. You were super excited, right? Now you've realized there are barriers at times where there need to be barriers.
Yeah,
limit yourself. That's humility.
100%.
Yeah, and I think that's, you know, you guys teach that in a subtle way. You don't throw it in their face.
That's true.
So
because the thing is, like, nobody, like, you know when your mom like sees you when you're a child, you know, you have candy in your hands and then she slaps the candy out of your hand, or she's like, put that candy down, right?
Yeah.
You just want that candy so bad, even more now, right?
Yeah.
But then, like, as you grow older and you're like, oh, the reason she was telling me not to, right, was because blank, 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 and blank. It's not good for me before bed, or like my sugar levels are already high. Like
It's usually she wants to sleep and get you out of the way.
exactly. But
Yeah.
even then, right, you take the time to process it,
Yeah.
right? That's the approach that I think anyone should take if they
Yeah.
want to make someone understand.
Yeah, steal their candy. I love that.
Exactly. Because I love me some
Candy.
lollipops. You know what I mean? I got a belly for it.
That's awesome, dude. So I actually have a question for Zeeshan.
Yeah, what's up?
How many? Maybe this can like go to some of you, some other of you. How many of you guys have been in Richland Collegiate program?
Yeah, so
None
that
of
was
you?
me.
So only Zeeshan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, I avoided that bullet, bro.
You know what? Yeah,
Nah,
collegiate.
It was the
Collegiate is
biggest
hard.
blessing. No, it was the biggest blessing.
It really
honestly.
was.
Yeah.
So my question for you is, I've seen the collegiate. Well, this isn't the question. This is my statement first. I've seen the collegiate kids struggle. I've seen how hard it is for them. Right. I'm a dual credit student. I don't go through the same stress as they do
Alhamdulillah.
because alhamdulillah, it's a lot easier for me. Right. So jumping because you did collegiate
Yeah.
and now you're in UTD. Is it a lot harder than collegiate, or did collegiate prepare you for what you're doing in UTD right now?
I actually talked about this earlier today. But wait, I have a question for you real quick.
Okay.
Wait, so you're doing dual credit, but is it like you're doing homeschool?
I'm doing homeschool dual credit without the homeschool. So there's no
Gotcha.
K-12, nothing like
yeah,
that.
yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah.
I know a few people that did that.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's
I
a
wish
lot
I
easier.
did that.
yeah, I thought about it actually, but one thing that a lot of my friends actually thought about doing that too whenever we were in our senior year and even in junior year. But one thing I like told myself and I told them was that like Richland Collegiate is a process.
Yeah.
One thing that Richland really taught me that like, okay, so when you go to college from high school, like from a normal high school, you go through your freshman phase, you know? But what happens at Richland is that when you're a junior in high school, you go through your freshman phase.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people, that's hard. You're only 16. Like you're not ready for that.
Yeah.
But when you get through that, the level of maturity you have by the time you're 18, it's amazing. Like if you do it right.
Yeah. If you
But
do it right.
If you do it right. For some people, they have a fall. They have a really big fall. But for some people, alhamdulillah, it's a really big blessing. But specifically, your question, I feel like the way Richland challenged us by taking like 8 and 9 classes
Yeah.
a semester, to going to like whenever I was taking 9 classes my senior year, both
Yeah.
semesters, and then going to UTD, they were like, "Oh, we recommend you taking 4 to 5 classes." I was like, "That's it."
That's it.
I was like, I can do that. I was like, yeah.
No, have that option? What?
I'm really glad I didn't do Richland, man.
But like I took 6 classes last semester, and now I'm taking 6 classes right now.
Oh my
And
god.
alhamdulillah, like I think it's only because I'm a business major. I would not recommend that for a pre-med.
Yeah. Okay.
But because I am a business major, alhamdulillah, like I was able to not take it easy, but I was able to take it, especially with being on MS8 board and being a part of ALM. Being able to balance all of that, definitely was a struggle. It was a struggle for the first 3 months.
Yeah.
I didn't even know if I could do it. But when I got through it, looking through like my first semester, like I don't even know how I did it, honestly. It was amazing.
Yeah.
But Richland definitely teaches you how like to just be mature. I think that's like the biggest thing. It's the process of being in Richland and getting through it. Because when I got out of it, I was like, dang, that was the easiest thing ever. But comparing it to now, looking back on it, I know it was so hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I strongly recommend anybody going to Richland. You save money and you grow as a person. Big
Yeah.
time.
Or just do dual credit. It's easier and
Yeah, I did.
you don't
do
grow
credit
as a
in high
person.
school.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Richland brings that community.
It does.
You
It
know?
really does.
And,
Everyone in collegiate's tight.
Yeah, and it has obviously it's good. It's good and bad.
Yeah.
But definitely the good way always the bad. And
yeah.
I like rave about Richland. Like I'm like, oh, go do Richland. Like I'll tell people to do it because I got my cousins to do it. It's a really good experience, and it does prepare you in a sense for college. But if you are pre-med or engineering, like you can't go into the mindset of it's going to be like Richland. It's not going to be like Richland, but it's gonna like you're somewhat ready, but it's not all there.
That's okay. Good. That's awesome.
I'm screwed. Dude. I'm going pre-med, man. God.
Oh boy.
You're in
Oh
for a
boy.
treat.
You're gonna join us then, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have fun now while you can.
While you're happy.
While you're happy.
No, that's a grind.
I can't wait
Med
for
is
organic chemistry,
grind.
dude. Ooh.
Dude, I don't even know.
But one thing like that I told my mom a lot, my parents, that like these years, like, because Richland was a lot and then now UTD is a lot. And one day I remember my mom, like, she was like, when is it gonna stop?
It's not.
And I told her, like, I was like it's not going to.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I was like, if anything, like, I'm gonna keep pushing myself and then I'm gonna graduate and then I'm gonna go work.
Yeah.
And then I was like, it's never gonna stop. I was like, this is just how like life is now.
Yeah.
You know, and to transition like from high school to college to work, like you never sit down and realize that. It just kind of happens to you. No one tells you. I mean, people tell you like, yeah, it's gonna get harder, but it comes at you. Like that's
Yeah.
it. Like
Yeah.
you don't have time to really take a break, you know? Obviously, like we all deserve a time for like disconnection and time for ourselves and reflection, but you don't really have time to just like disappear from the world. You can't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, I mean, Ustad Abdurrahman Murphy had like a beautiful little discussion about that very thing at a coffee talk. I think like it was a month or 2 months ago. But he was saying like, specifically he was talking about relationships and how like, we're always worried about, I just, as soon as I'm done with college, then, I'll get a job and it'll be so easy. I won't have to focus on any of these other things. But he was like, there's always a next step. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it like, man is always learning, and if man is not constantly learning, then he is lost, right?
Yeah.
And so
I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off for a minute. For you guys who don't know, Allah is basically God.
yeah,
Translation directly
the
to English.
big man upstairs,
Yeah,
what I mean?
try to keep English.
Yeah, I got you.
Just to make it easy.
So basically, like all he was saying was like God is going to like if you are supposed to be doing what you're going to be doing, then you're going to be struggling your whole life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then there's always something that you realize you can be doing better and working harder towards, whether it's your family, whether it's your relationships, whether it's your schooling, whether it's your job, right? There's always a ladder to climb. I really think it's amazing that this became like a part of the conversation.
Yeah.
Because this is like one of the things that like ALM helps so much with
Yeah.
like me.
This is something I always tell. Bringing it back to ALM, tying it back to ALM.
Yeah.
This is something I always tell people whenever they're like, I don't know if I'll be able to like handle it or like time wise, like how it is. But like at the end of the day, every single year you're only going to get busier. And what changes is you get better at managing the things that you do. And whenever it comes to like the great things you have the potential to do, and like the thing, like when it comes back to limiting yourself, like saying that you're busy or saying that you don't have time, that's limiting yourself, because it's only in those like high pressure, high stress situations that you make those realizations of like, oh, I'm good at this, or like I can get better at this, or like this is something I like. Because if you're just sitting at home or like in your free time, like of course, like we all, like you said, we have time like for ourselves to enjoy. But like at the end of the day, if that's all we do, you're not gonna like suddenly get that like peak realization that like, oh, this is what I want to do with my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's no destination. The journey is everything.
Hell yeah.
Bars.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Bars.
I love the whole snap thing, right?
Yeah, that was all. That was his entire poem. I
Yeah.
showed down. It was just me doing this. the whole
No
time.
way.
Mashallah.
I'll send you a link, inshallah. But
Yeah.
Yes, please.
But yeah, that's one thing. Also, like whenever I became a member, I was like the struggles of going through like everything that semester. I was like, it's not gonna stop. I was like, there's no, like literally there's no end. Like I'm gonna keep going until I die.
Yeah.
And that's how life works. Like I could never become complacent with who I am today. Like I have to be better tomorrow.
Yeah.
I have to wake up feeling richer than yesterday.
100%.
You know?
Yeah, definitely. If you're earning $1 million a day, that's when you can relax for a minute.
But then you gotta
no,
think, what are you gonna do with that money?
Exactly.
Like you always see these people like Sohail and I were actually talking about this. We were walking a couple of weeks ago, but like Juice WRLD was talking about how like he's like rich, but he's also sad as a, you know what I mean?
Money doesn't buy happiness.
Yeah,
It doesn't.
I think, right, or we could talk about Ariana saying that, whoever said money can't solve your problems must have not had enough money to solve them, right? Bars. it's about what you do with the money.
It really is.
It's about what you do with the money. If you got like 8 milli sitting in your account and you're just sitting there, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, dope, I got money for 4 weeks,
Yeah.
4 years, however long, right?
Yeah.
But until you put something to that use, right? That's when you have decided like whether or not you're gonna be happy with your choice.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not saying don't buy no Lambo, bro.
Yeah.
Go out and buy that Lambo. Get that Ferrari money, bro. Get them red bottoms, girl. Like do what you want to do. But at the same time, think. My mom always told me, right?
Yeah.
Like whenever you want to buy something, make sure you have double the money. So that if someone comes to you the next day and says, I just need this money right now, my life depends on it, you would never be like,
I don't have the money.
I don't have the money, I can't help you.
Yeah.
So like that's something that I think is like similar in that concept. You know,
Mhm.
you just got to be. It's about what you do with your time.
Yeah.
That's what will define your happiness.
Yeah.
So time is money.
That's amazing. So I'm gonna bring it back to the Alif Lam Mim Alpha Lambda Mu. Are you wearing the shirt for?
Yeah, this was our spirit shirt actually
Okay.
for last semester. It's something that we get as members. Everyone who's a member gets it.
You got hats for it too.
Yeah, we got hats.
what you're
We're selling
wearing right
hats.
now? Okay.
It's got the sun
Merch
dollar
link in
with the
bio.
meme.
The link in bio. Give me the link, maybe if I remember.
Yeah, I mean, like the sales on these stopped. We try to do limited releases. One because like obviously production is like super expensive.
I know.
It's such a pain. Like
Yeah.
because there's always that one dude sitting at the production company like.
Let's do 100 more.
Yeah, like let's do 100 more and then ghost you for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And you come back like, yo, I need my orders. And he's like, about that. So yeah, we try to do limited releases, but for sure we'll hit you up next time. We try to do some merch. We try to
Definitely.
do that pretty regularly both semesters.
Okay.
So like we actually just did PR shirts.
Uh-huh.
And what's crazy is that we broke like a bunch of records that we had
Yeah.
because we thought that we weren't gonna sell anything. Like low key, me being on PR, I thought I wasn't gonna sell anything, bro. But man, our last record was what 80 shirts,
It was close to 90.
close to 90, right?
Yeah.
This semester, which typically we always sell more shirts in the fall because everyone's sick of buying shirts in the spring.
Yeah.
Because they have bought shirts
They've
throughout
bought
the year
them
from
already.
every organization,
Yeah.
right? No matter which organization.
Yeah.
We sold 120 shirts this semester.
Oh my god.
So alhamdulillah, man. People are
Yeah.
appreciating the merch. People
Yeah.
are appreciating the merch. So yeah, I mean that's also just something that we can use to sustain ourselves and or also contribute to other things that we're trying to
Yeah.
put the money towards.
Yeah. And you know what? I feel like people don't understand this. Anytime an MSA, a fraternity is advertising a shirt or anything like that, that funds are going straight to the organization to help them out. You know, to help them help other people.
Yeah, it's not all going
essentially.
to my bank account.
Or is
and
it?
if it should, or like if it isn't, like where is it?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I'm not wearing no Gucci slides, bro. I'm wearing my Sperry's, bro. So
Yeah.
But one thing just that I thought of is that like anything we do for the fraternity is because like the love we have instilled in us
100.
Yeah.
like for the fraternity.
100.
So like when we sell the shirts, if we're trying to raise money, it's because we want to survive. Like we want the money for the fraternity as much as we would want the money for ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that's something special that I found in ALM than any other organization that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That the love that the members have for what they're a part of.
Yeah, but isn't that what you guys promote? You promote brotherhood and linking each other, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
100%. And because it's not easy. It's not easy walking up to someone and be like, yo, like I know this is $18 at the end of the semester,
Uh-huh.
but I really need you to buy a shirt. Like, remember that solid you owe me that you gave me like 4 months ago? I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to pull that card on you now, right? It's like that, and it's not easy because you feel really awkward.
Yeah.
But when you love something so much,
You're
you
willing
don't
to
care.
do anything.
You're willing to do anything.
Yeah.
So
But I would pay in pennies.
Oh no.
I would bring you your shirt in penny-sized coins. So if you want your shirt in pennies, I will give you pennies for a shirt. So
Hey, I'm down for that, right?
it sounds like fun. It sounds like
does.
hours of work on my part, but it sounds like a lot of fun.
That's awesome. You guys have I don't know if you guys specifically have been on. You've been featured on BuzzFeed. I've seen this. I think it's on your
I'm
website.
pretty
You've been
sure,
featured
I'm
on
pretty
a
sure.
bunch of different news outlets.
Yeah.
How
It
did
was-
that happen?
It was back in like when they first got founded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were very active in the community, and I mean we still are, but especially like when like people first heard of it, they're like, oh wow, what is this?
Yeah, it was a whole new concept, right? And then everyone the thing that I've learned with media sources, right, is that as soon as one picks something up, right, everyone wants to gravitate towards it, right?
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to be the last one to the game on it.
That's true.
And so what ended up happening is like the founders like were super there was a lot of political turmoil at the time that it was founded too, right? President Obama was on the way out, you know, like we're getting ready to have like a very, very intense debate in the country about what we identified with as a nation, right? What kind of like ideology we wanted to identify with. And so we had a large presence out there at protests, at, you know, things like that, at activist events, and so all these media articles started picking up about it, and there's still a lot of interest coming, but now it's more organizational aspect. It's not in the ideological aspect, right? Back then it was like, oh, they're the first Muslim fraternity, like this is the whole thing.
Yeah, now it's just like, oh, it's the first Muslim fraternity.
Yeah, now it's like normal, right? Now it's a thing. Like we've established ourselves, like we passed the 5-year mark. If something lasts 5 years, then you know that it's been there for a hot minute, right? So it's like you know that now it's about the organization. Now it's about what are you doing, not why you're doing it. What are you doing? And that's something that we're still trying to be pretty active about.
Yeah.
I think a couple months ago, wasn't it Bilal Ayub? He was on another podcast. I don't know if you remember, but he was talking with somebody about like the meaning of fraternities.
And Bilal Ayub is our national president.
Yeah.
Okay. So I actually have BuzzFeed News pulled up right now.
Oh man, he's about to fact check me on an article, bro. I'm gonna get exposed, bro.
So BuzzFeedNews.com. If you guys want to check it out, it's how'd you find it?
Link in the
I
description.
literally just typed in BuzzFeed Alpha Lambda Mu.
Okay.
The first thing.
Complicated. If you can't figure
It's
that
very
out,
complicated.
I'm sorry, right?
CS
But the
majors.
second one is it literally says the founding members told the Independent that the idea started as a joke, but developed into a full-fledged frat that modern Muslims college students could have an organic college experience. Is this real, BuzzFeed?
Yeah.
The grammar is completely off, but I mean, even the fact that it started as a joke, like
think about it like this, bro. Like let's say you and me we're sitting in college in 2015 at UT Desi, right? So we're chilling, right? You and I are sitting across from each other, and we see a bunch of like, let's say we see delts, right? They're walking on campus, and they're walking in crew, they're wearing gear, right? And I'm looking at you, and I'm Ali Mahmoud, right? I'm like, you know what'd be funny, bro? I just got an idea. What if we made a Muslim fraternity, bro?
Yeah.
Dude, you know what Rush Week's gonna be? Tarawih, bro. You know what we're gonna play at our Rush dinner? Monster Pong. You know, like it's that kind of thing, you know what I mean? And so like, it was a joke, of course, right? Like, but the thing that's amazing is that joke inspired action.
The one guy that took it.
The one guy that took
It created a movement.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you know, but we're coast to coast now.
Mashallah.
Really?
Yeah, we have
Cornell to UCSD.
Yeah.
Cornell
No
to UCSD.
way.
And we just got Texas Tech just became a chapter.
Yeah, mashallah. Mubarak to those guys.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've said that. Can we have a that's awesome count?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Just on the top right hand
Just
corner.
top
Yeah,
right
it's small
corner.
ad-lib.
No, it's too much work. I'm not doing that. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this. This is actually pretty cool. It shows your guys' brotherhood on the website. That's, I mean, it literally says you guys do normal frat guy stuff like punch each other in the balls. Can I ask a question? Does that happen often?
That was more back in founding.
That was a reference to a specific video.
Yeah, very specific.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. If someone deserves it, I might just give a little tap. But nothing organizationally. Anything I do does not represent the values of ALM. Read the fine print below.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Good PR.
You
Yeah.
know what?
Yeah,
I
real
just
good.
realized. I think I'm supposed to say you are listening to KDuck's Web Radio, broadcast live from Richland College in Dallas, Texas. We are the voice of Richland College. Disclaimer: views expressed on the show are my own, unless otherwise stated, and do not reflect the opinion of KDuck's Web Radio, Richland College, or DCCC, however many C's there are. D.
I just saved you, bro.
Yeah.
Good thing I did that,
Now we
man.
can't lawyer us.
The litigation
Now you
was
can't
coming.
lawyer
I
us,
could hear it.
exactly.
I could hear it. The litigation was coming at you, bro.
You know what? I've seen
I
other
could hear the
people.
lawyers.
Exactly. I've seen other people in this like podcast lab say that, but I never knew where it was. It's on the wall right there.
Okay, there you go. There you go. Hey, for future reference.
Yeah, definitely. Now it's too late. We're 56 minutes in.
56
That was crazy.
minutes
That's
in?
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
time flies on this
What?
thing. Man.
Yeah,
Time
for
flies.
For sure.
That's wild. Okay, that's crazy.
Oh man.
Oh my god, absolutely.
Yeah. But 56 good minutes, that's for sure.
56 solid
56
minutes.
Solid minutes.
Okay, so I have a really good question.
All right.
God.
Yeah. So you guys, I'm sure some of you guys have had business meetings, interviews for a job. I don't know. A question they may ask you very often, or one they do ask you all the time, is what would be your elevator pitch? Right? So my question for you, if you had 30 seconds in an elevator to recruit someone at UT Desi, what would you say?
You want to take this, Zeesh? Is your elevator pitch refreshed?
If Rasan was here, Rasan would.
Dude.
Hey, we have
For those of
a.
you know,
Rasan-
Rasan Alam.
Yeah, he's our recruitment
Shouts.
chair. Man's a beast. He lives and breathes ALM.
There's always that one guy.
Yeah, there's-
No, but shout out to him. You know, like our sales, a lot of things are like, you know how I was talking about brand image and brand awareness. Like he's done an amazing job.
Yeah.
this is one of our biggest semesters for like Rush,
Yeah.
and he's literally the root cause of it.
Yeah, everyone's
So-
like, "Oh, how'd you find out about ALM? Oh, you know Rasan?
Yes!
we know Rasan.
Yeah, I know him.
Just like you have the that's awesome count. We have it was Rasan count.
Every time. Oh my god.
Yeah, I love that, man. What was the question again?
The 30-second
30
elevator
What is your
pitch
30-second elevator?
about
pitch?
ALM?
Say you met Yezin in the
Yeah,
elevator.
I have one, but I don't know if y'all have.
Give me the 30-second elevator.
Okay.
pitch.
Can we
So-
play elevator music?
All right. Do we have a 30-second timer?
Yeah, you know what? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's
Let's
do it.
do it.
30
I will.
seconds.
I will time you on this with some elevator music playing in the background.
Okay, cool. And I want you to say time. I want you to cut me.
Okay.
Off.
Okay. I'll cut you off.
Not-
Just go like ding. As
Yeah,
in, like,
ding.
just
You
ding
know
level.
the
Just
elevator
ding.
came.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm digging this. I like
Alright.
where this is going. Let's do this.
Okay.
Let's see if I want to be recruited into ALM.
All right. Sounds
All right. We
good.
got the
Solid.
music.
Yeah,
rolling,
I love
right?
it.
It's a solid
Beautiful.
soundtrack.
Can you send me that track?
Yeah. Do I freestyle over it? Am I doing a 30-second freestyle?
5 fingers of death.
5 fingers of
All right. You ready?
All right.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2.
ALM is a fraternity that is based around the idea that brotherhood is at the center of everything that you'll ever want. And that includes community service, that includes personal development, and that includes your professional life, right? And so as you're developing through the process that we have for all people who want to become members, you will slowly start developing these skills that you never realized you could have had. So if you are interested and you do want to come, then please check out our Rush Week events next semester and make sure that you want to buy our merch anytime PR drops it. So check it out, alm.org, alpha.me.org.
Time.
That's what's up. That was up.
Okay, but
Oh, man.
guys, get
That was
this.
amazing.
Yo.
Imagine saying all that in an elevator and having that guy go,
Who
"No
are
thank-
you?
No thanks. I'll see you later." Imagine.
No,
Nah,
man.
but for real, hey, Mahir, shout out. That was
Final
that's pretty
verdict?
good.
That was-
I'm
yeah.
gonna write that down.
Oh, okay. Wait. But
Final verdict?
what's the final verdict?
Yeah, sure. I'd like to learn more about
Oh,
it.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, we have about 30 seconds. Actually, you know what? If we're doing real time, we're overtime.
oh.
So
Oh,
let's
man.
So
let's
sorry.
just according to this clock, we still have 30 seconds. So within another 30 seconds, what would you guys have to say to end this?
Yeah. Well, if there's anything that I said that interested you, then please check us out. Check out our website, alphalandmu.org. If there's anything that I said that may have offended someone, obviously all of us apologize. We're only here representing our values, and if anything that we said was wrong, we apologize for that. And last but not least,
Make sure to leave a comment, subscribe down below. We'll see you guys
Okay,
in the next
and
one.
we're gonna do our little outro. You ready?
No.
You ready? 1, 2, 3, go. We're
Walking on thin ice. We're walking on thin ice.
DT podcast. See you guys later.
all right, have a good night.